everyone, it's Eden, and on Instagram and Snapchat, I asked for your cues so that I can A them. If you can think of a hashtag better than Ask Eden for future Q&A videos, leave them down below. But let's get started. So let's start with InstaFam. First one is celeb crush. It would have to be Jesse Williams. You know, he's a BLM activist and he's also on Grey's Anatomy. He plays Avery. He's super dreamy and he's definitely my celeb crush. What is my favorite YouTuber to watch? I love YouTube. Like, a lot of YouTubers are like, I don't even watch YouTube. I watch so much YouTube, so it's really hard to say, but I'll list a few of my favorites. I guess I really love like vegan cooking channels like Hot for Food, Edgy Veg. I love Sarah's Vegan Kitchen. I like watching Brian Turner. I really love Casey Neistat, of course. I love The Sherman Show. I love This Gathered Nest. I have a lot of channels that I really like to watch. The Philip DeFranco Show, that's how I get all of my news. If I could only use one makeup brand for the rest of my life, what would I use? It would definitely be Hourglass. Hourglass is the shiz, and it's all luxury and mostly vegan, and I really love luxury products because it doesn't break out my face. I have on Hourglass foundation and lipstick today, so Hourglass for sure. Vegan snacks, what would you recommend? I always eat like celery, hummus, and carrots. That's like my favorite go-to vegan snack. Also popcorn. Popcorn is like my favorite little healthy snack. You can pop it in coconut oil or you can air pop it, add some nutritional yeast, some salt and pepper. It's amazing. Famous person that inspires you and why? So Russell Simmons, he is amazing. Not only is he a mogul, but he is a vegan, an activist for all lives. He really does a lot to enrich impoverished areas, and he really just wants to build people up. All of his book sales go to charity, 100% of his book sales, which is amazing. He doesn't profit off of them whatsoever. He's just an all-around fun, vibrant person, and I feel like he's like my uncle. He's so inspirational. If you don't follow Uncle Rush on Instagram or Twitter, you definitely should, because he's just an amazing person. Favorite Bible verse? Psalms 55:22, which is cast your cares on the Lord and he will sustain you. He will never let the righteous be shaken. Squats or lunges? Squats. 100%. Something about the angles for lunges just don't work for my legs. I can do lunges at like a moderate pace, but then once they start to pick it up and you're doing like one lunge per beat, I'm like, I'm done. I have to sub in squats because my legs don't like this weird angling we're doing. Where do you buy your clothes? I buy my clothes from Torrid, Target, Old Navy, Forever 21, Eloquii, and the rest of my clothes are mostly swimsuits. I think that's about all of the places that I buy from, except for like Boohoo. Every once in a while I shop at Gen X for like basics, but that's pretty much all of the plus size places that I shop. How old am I? I am 28 years old. I will be 29 in December, so fine at 29. Favorite lyric? I would be here forever. Trying to figure that out right now. One of my favorite songs is by Holland. It's called In Awe, so probably any line from that song. Holland is amazing and her voice is beautiful. If I have kids, will they be vegan too? Absolutely. I know that that's kind of controversial and people perceive it as pushing your views, but I don't see it that way at all. I mean, someone who feeds their child meat, they're just feeding them the way they eat. So I will feed my children the way that I eat because they're in my household. So that's how that will be. Ooh, this person's mean. Choose one, coffee or pickles? Coffee? I guess coffee. I really love pickles though. Fried pickles? Yum. How do you get your eyebrows so perfect? I don't. Half the time they don't even match. So I don't know. Favorite vegan dish. I would say one of my favorite vegan dishes, which I haven't had in ages, is cauliflower wings. They're so good and so easy to make, but I haven't had them in a really long time, so I should make them. What was the worst thing that ever happened to you and how did you get through it? Which I feel really weird about this. I guess not having a dad, and that's because my dad had robbed a bank when I was really young, so he went to prison. And I overcame it by having an amazing mother to uplift me. Do you ever crave meat or any animal product? No, I do not. Do you follow the beauty community on YouTube? If so, who is your favorite? I do follow the beauty community. For vegan YouTubers, I follow Logical Harmony, Rianne, and Tiffany De Silva. And for mainstream beauty YouTubers, I love Leisha X Sparkage, I love Jaclyn Hill, and Emily Noel 83. I love her. She's amazing and she's just so honest and pure, and I'm obsessed with her. Okay, which 3 people, dead or alive, would you love to have dinner with? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? If you could eat only one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be? So, if I could only eat one meal for the rest of my life, I feel like it would be tacos. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? I am not sure. I definitely hope that I've adopted at least one child in 5 years, but other than that, I will go wherever Jesus leads me. And which 3 people, dead or alive, would you love to have dinner with? I would love to have dinner with Colleen Patrick Goudreau and Russell Simmons, and the third person is TBD. Okay, I'll have to think on that. I don't know, I can't think of a third person, okay? I hope I'm not too late. You're not too late, Gabby Nicole. My question is, do you ever go through that period of doubt where no matter which way you look in the mirror or which outfit you put on, you can't seem to love your body? Do you have any advice on to how to get out of that funk? P.S. I love you, and thank you for being my rock. Thank you for being my angel. I do have those days, and I talk about it more in showing you all of my insecurities, that video. And how I overcome it is to realize that my value is not based on how I look. So just recently I bought a swimsuit, and I got so used to seeing this swimsuit on the model that when I got it home and tried it on, I hated the way that it looked on me. And I think that's normal for your confidence to be at a low point. Telling yourself that you're amazing, thinking about all of the things that make you valuable, the things that you do for the people around you, the things that you do for yourself, and realizing that the confidence is a relationship. And sometimes you have bad times in a relationship, but the defining factor is what you do to make that relationship lasting. So you're not just gonna give up on yourself. You're not gonna give up on someone that you love, someone that you see potential in, someone that you see worthy. You won't ever give up on that. So as long as you know those things, it doesn't really matter that you don't feel good at that time, because you know you are good. So as long as you're working towards getting on that place, and it's different how everyone gets there, so I try not to give blanket advice, but just know that you're worth the time to make yourself feel good. Because if you don't feel good, you can't do the good that you're destined to do within the world. So yeah. Who are the most important people in your life and why? Jesus is the most important person in my life. My family, I love my family. I love my sister to pieces. She's my little baby doll, and I have some amazing friends too. This is one of the first years where I can truly say that I have actual friends, and I'm really, really thankful for them. What is your favorite smell? I really like warm smells like sandalwood or vanilla. I like that with a fruity undertone. I can't do floral, it makes me all allergic. One must-have skincare item. This stuff, this is amazing. This is a game changer for my skincare. I've used it for years, and it's fantastic. You should you should probably try it. You should probably pry it. Why are you so fly? Stop. If you could create your own vegan product, what would it be? Cheese and ice cream, or what? If I could create my own vegan product, it would probably be some kind of like granola or something. No, it would be yogurt. I would create the perfect vegan yogurt because I really loved yogurt before I became vegan, and there are some good ones out there, but there's not the perfect one. So I would create like a granola and a yogurt because that's my favorite breakfast by far, like granola, yogurt with fruit on top. Do you have any vegan dessert recipes? I have an amazing lemon pound cake recipe. I will do a video on it probably around the holidays. Do you have any vegan apps on your phone? Yes, I do. I have the Daily Dozen app, which I really, really love, and I really recommend if you're trying to remember to get in like all of your veggies. And like the thing that I always forget is whole grains and nuts. So it kind of helps me remember to get those things in. Would you rather everyone in the world go vegan and I have to go back to eating meat, or me stay vegan and everyone else in the world remain, you know, omnivorous or never go vegan? Honestly, I would probably go back to eating meat because I would rather everyone else be vegan, because y'all, the earth really needs a break. And me being vegan wouldn't help the earth enough. If everyone else went vegan and I had to go back to eating meat, I would take one for Mother Earth. Do I ever miss Gary sometimes, which is Job Corps? I went to Job Corps a really long time ago. Yes, I do. I loved living in the dorms. I loved the connections that I made with people. I loved some of the leadership skills that I made. I loved that they helped me get into college. So yes, I do miss it. But for real now, your diet hard to stick to? Is your diet hard to stick to? No, it's not at all. While in California, are you planning to do any meet and greet events? No. I would love to do a meet and greet, but I'm one of those people that I feel like I'd like plan a meet and greet and no one would come or something. Does everyone feel that way that's a YouTuber? And also, I'm gonna be there during the week. If I was going to be there on the weekend, I probably would plan a meet and greet, but I know during the week people work, so it might be a little bit harder for people to get there. But I go back and forth to California, so next time I will try to plan something. What is the scariest, most scarring experience you've ever had? Honestly, this is gonna sound so crazy, but I've had lots of people in my family die, but when my dog died, it was the saddest thing ever because she died kind of like suddenly, my old dog, my pit bull, and it was just the saddest thing ever. I cried then more than I cried at like any family member's funeral up to that point. So yeah, when pets go, it's so hard because they like love you unconditionally. Typical vegan food that you hate. I hate Daya. It's so gross, and a lot of people really like it. I think they've come out with better products now, but now they've sold out and stuff, so but so in any front, no. What would I name my children? I really like the name Evie, after Eve in the Bible. I love the name Callie. I like really short, sweet names. For boys, I've always wanted to name my sons Princeton because I had a really great friend named Prince for a few years, and he, oh my gosh, he was such a light in my life, so I really love the name Princeton, Prince for short. Do I work out daily or 2 to 3 times a week? So I tend to work out about 5 times a week. If it's a really crazy week, 3 to 4, but it's rarely 3. It's usually 4 days. It's usually Monday, Tuesday, and then Thursday, Saturday is when I work out, and then Sunday I try to do like Kundalini. So it's usually around 5 times a week. Do I date anyone? Yes, I date people. Have you ever been through periods of binge eating? Do you have any advice or tips on how to stop it? So I don't feel like I'm qualified to give tips when it comes to eating disorders. because I don't have that experience. I do overeat. Like I've said that before, not all the time, but on occasion. You know, when you make a big thing of vegan mac and cheese, you have a bowl and then you go to the pot and you have another spoon and then you have another spoon, then you have like 3 more spoonfuls and then you're like, ooh, I'm really full. That's what I do. I've never binged, like a lot of food binge, almost like in a trance, and then you feel sick after. I've never had that experience, so it's really hard for me to say how to overcome it. I can assume that doing things like cooking portions that are for yourself might help versus cooking big portions, but I don't know. I feel like when it comes to binging, it's kind of like an addiction. So, and it's a disorder, it's an eating disorder. So I would say that getting a counselor is probably always a good idea. Being part of the body positive community, how do you handle fat shaming? I know that there is no shame in being fat, and I understand that people are saying it in a harmful way, but I don't take it that way. And I know that this approach doesn't work for everyone. So I'm not suggesting that you just ignore it and say like, oh, well, I'm not ashamed by being fat, so that person, what they're saying isn't valid. But that just works for me. I don't feel any shame in being fat, and just because someone is saying something from a hateful place doesn't mean I have to be offended by it. So I rarely take offense to hateful comments. Most of the time I laugh because I can't take someone who doesn't know me personally that is attacking me seriously. I just can't. It would be silly for me too, so I don't care. It's basically how I handle fat shaming. I know that's probably not a good answer. Could you be any cuter? Stop that. Have you ever felt like people are laughing at you behind your back in public? If so, how do you overcome that bullshit? Yes, I have actually. And sometimes people may be laughing at you. If you can't hear them clearly, there's no way of really knowing. But a lot of the times I chalk it up to paranoia, that it's probably my own insecurity in some instances. I feel like someone may be talking about me, but I don't know that that's the case. Unless I actually know that it's the case, I just kind of brush it off. People can laugh and make jokes to themselves as much as they want. Where the problem comes in is if they have the nerve to say something, and if they do, they're gonna get the wrath. So that's just how things go in E's world. Do you write music, lyrics, or both? So I write lyrics and I hear music, and I know that that sounds odd, but basically I write to no music and I can hear the beat in my head 100%. So then I take my music to a producer. I almost sing out what I'm hearing in my head, and then I'm like, no, this needs to be this, we need to add percussion. And since I don't play an instrument, I work with composers a lot. So that's how I personally write music. I'm not very good at writing to already composed beats or instrumentals. So that's how I do it. What are your top 2 favorite fresh herbs? Like, do you like basil or parsley or dill? My favorite herbs are dill and cilantro. Those are amazing, my go-tos. Okay, so that's all for Instagram. Now let's go over to Snapchat. Do you ever cheat on being vegan and eat a hamburger or something? And if not, how do you stay so strong and not give in? I don't give in because veganism isn't a diet for me. If it were a diet for me, maybe I would be tempted to cheat, but I can't. If I cheated on a vegan diet, I wouldn't be vegan. So no, I never cheat on a vegan diet. Now, I do want to say sometimes people make mistakes, and sometimes people feel pressured, and just because you fall off of the wagon doesn't mean that you can't jump back on. Now, I've never been a big meat consumer anyhow. I've been vegetarian on and off throughout my life. I've been pescatarian, so it wasn't as hard for me to go vegan as I know it is for other people. So my advice to you is to seek out people that have videos on this, that have videos saying, you know, I cheated on my vegan diet, or how tips to stay on a vegan diet. I don't know. There's videos for everything, and seek those people out because they're your best resources, better than I will be for sure. Opinions on can't believe it's not butter vegan. I guess asking me if I can't believe it's not butter vegan. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. Tips for not feeling comfortable being vegan with college roommates. So I think college is a very important time. It's that time right in between where you're fully going into the workforce and when you are out of high school. So it's very important to kind of embrace your differences and learn how to deal with people that are different than you are before you get to the big world where it may really count. So I say just be prideful and be educated and be kind. No one likes a condescending vegan. So make sure that you're kind and that you state why you're vegan, and that you make people understand that your beliefs are important as it goes with any belief. If you're Christian, if you're pro this or pro that, if you're feminist, if you're vegan, make sure that people know that your beliefs are important to you, because I think people are less likely to push your buttons when they know that your stance is firm. And let people know it's okay for us to live differently and still get along, because people can still be good people regardless of their decisions. I really want to wear bodycon dresses, but I have a large stomach. Shapewear holds me in, but not enough. Do you have tips on how I can style my bodycon dress to flatter my figure? Please and thank you. So the thing is, if you have a stomach in a bodycon dress, it's always gonna look like you have a stomach. There isn't a thing you can do if you have a big midsection to make a bodycon dress look more flattering. What you have to change is your perception. If you don't like the way that your body looks in a bodycon dress, don't wear a bodycon dress. So there are a few things that kind of camouflage the area. You're still gonna see it, but it's not gonna make your stomach look flatter because you have a stomach. So dusters, really long dusters, they're kind of like, you know, sweaters, but they come down longer with the dress. Those are really great because they camouflage the side area, so it gives you a flatter appearance in the front. That's really the only thing that I do with bodycons, other than like a really sleek blazer or a vest. But other than that, there's not a ton that you can do, because bodycons are what they are. They're gonna hug the body. So if you don't like things hugging the body, don't wear things that hug the body. What food would you ever break being vegan to eat? I wouldn't. I know you do what I eat in a day videos, but would you consider vlogging daily? I would, but it wouldn't ever be possible because I work a full-time job. So I would love to daily vlog, but it's just not something that would happen or can happen. Did your childhood dream job become a reality? Is it possible for it to happen for you? Or is it possible for it to still happen for you? My childhood dream job is basically YouTube. I always talked to myself a lot as a child. I always filmed myself talking. I always talked out different topics that I was thinking out loud because I was an only child for a very long time. I sang a lot as a child. I wanted to sing, and I do that as another job. Like, I'm a songwriter, so I sing all of my demos. So it basically came true. Not exactly how I thought it would be, but it's definitely fulfilling. If you were in a relationship, would you like your partner to be vegan? I've kissed a guy who hadn't been vegan and nearly vomited. I have dated people that aren't vegan. The last guy I dated was not vegan. The boyfriend before that was not vegan. He always ate vegetarian with me, and my long-term boyfriend before that was also not vegan. When I was with my longest term boyfriend, I was pescatarian, so I didn't care. I mean, there's more that goes into it. Maybe we can talk about it in a separate video. Are you still going to do a vegan taste test with Kayla? Yes, I am. It is going to be in September. Do you plan on / want a career change? I think that there will be a career change. Am I planning on it? Sort of. Do I want it? I'm not sure. I know each adult kind of switches careers a few times. I already have. I've left the medical field to the field that I'm currently in. So I have had a big career change, and I feel like I will probably have another sometime during adulthood. What are your beliefs on animals eating vegan? I do not feed my dog vegan. What are good tips for anxiety and stress besides exercise, prayer, and meditation? What dating methods do you use? Online, in person, word of mouth, blind dates, through friends? Question, question, question. I used to use online dating, but I don't anymore because I run into a lot of subscribers. So fun, which I love you guys, but it's interesting to run into you guys on dating websites. And I meet people in person most of the time now. I've gone on a couple of dates on people that are Instagram influencers and stuff like that, but most of it is I guess a mix of online and in person. Who is your YouTube crush? Oh, Ari Fitz. What has your experience dating as a plus size woman been like? Okay, so I don't have any trouble dating as a plus size woman because I have a whole video on like plus size dating tips, because I'm always very honest on my profiles when I do online dating. People know exactly what they're getting, and other than that, every guy that I date I meet at the gym. So they're approaching me, so they want to hang out with me. So it hasn't been that hard for me. Everyone's always really kind. I've never had really any problems. I know that's not the case for everyone, and that there are jerks out there, but don't take that as a problem with you as a plus size woman. Just take that as a problem with jerks in general. What are your thoughts on online apps / dating? Go for it. That's how a lot of people meet their husbands and wives. That's how you meet people in general. That's how you end up going on dates. I think you never know what something has to offer unless you put yourself out there. And if you're asking the questions instead of doing it, you will never know. Favorite vegan restaurants in Austin? Austin doesn't have a lot of vegan restaurants. They have a lot of vegan food trucks, which is something that I dislike about Austin greatly. But some of my favorite vegan places, I guess, are, see, the thing about Austin, they have decent vegan food. There are some places that are good, but most of the places are just decent. So I can name places to go, but they're just vegan places. They're not like the best vegan places. But for the best vegan pizza in Austin, Via 313 is not a fully vegan place, but they make the best vegan pizza. Cap City Bakery makes amazing kolaches. It's like these little sausage rolls with cheese and jalapenos, and they're really good. They make great cupcakes, a really good cheesecake. Not the best cheesecake, but a good cheesecake. Veggie Heaven makes really good Chinese food. Wheatsville has great vegan options on their hot bar, which are delicious. Arlo's has the best vegan cheeseburger. But those are pretty much my favorite things, except for Barbecue Revolution. They do a pretty good job as well. And the Vegan Nom has really phenomenal, like super greasy tacos. Will you talk about the best way to respond to classic Omni statements? Like, but evolution though. So the thing that I do most of the time is I'm just really sassy, and you have to put your personality in things. People will always make fun of you for being vegan. So you have to have a little bit of personality, but you also need to know when to say, hey, I don't think that's funny, or when someone goes too far, because I don't think anyone's really trying to offend you unless you've done so first by being militant. So a lot of the times people know when to back off, or sometimes I'll just order food and people will be like, oh, well, I was vegan for like 2 days and I didn't really like it because I was getting protein deficient. I was like, I didn't really ask you. And everyone will be like, oh, and I don't say it in a bad way. People just expect that kind of sass from me. So the person's like, oh, okay. And I'm like, I'm just trying to eat my fries and my salad here. I didn't ask you about your life history. Like, you just have to put your own spin on it, have fun with things, and those little things that you say kind of stick with people. It changes the way that they interact with vegans, yes, and just like little things that you may say about like animal activism in a response, those little things stick with them. I call it planting seeds, you know? That about wraps up this edition of Ask Eden. If you have more questions, leave them down below. I am in sunny Southern California right now, living my best beach babe life. I'm running, I'm frolicking, I'm bikiniing, and I hope you guys are having a fantastic week. And I just love you guys dearly. We're finally over 40,000 subscribers and I couldn't be happier. But I hope you guys are having a fantastic weekend. Until next time, remember to keep an open mind, keep an open heart, practice unconditional compassion, but don't take shit from anyone. I love you guys endlessly and I hope you love yourselves even more. I'll talk to you very, very soon.